Yet another change from the book to the movie that I really wanted to highlight, because I thought it was just so great. And mind you, it's not a big change at all, it's more like just a cosmetic alteration, but in my mind, such tiny small changes can sometimes leave a big impression. The devil is really in the details, as they say, and especially so with great art. This change has to do with the character of the Emperor again. The more I think about it, the more I'm really starting to appreciate his depiction in the film and loving Christopher Walken. And this time, it also has to do with the Baron Harkonnen. So what happens in the book when the Emperor lands on Arrakis and calls for an audience with the Baron? They gather in the throne room of his, I guess, portable Arrakeen residence. The Emperor takes a seat in his throne, and the Baron presents himself before the throne, all nervous and shaky. He's wondering exactly why he's being summoned. He is generally aware of why the Emperor has come, but he's not aware of the precise reason he's being called to answer directly to the throne, as if he's being charged with something. And so he's nervous and twitchy. He keeps having his internal monologues, as in, what is it I must have done wrong? Why does the Emperor look pissed? Does he plan to execute me? Has he information I'm not aware of? And blah blah blah. And the Emperor, although visibly pissed, is still keeping decorum. He starts to attack him and interrogate him, but only in a subtly aggressive manner, I would say, calling him Dear Baron and whatnot, with the implication of maybe killing him later, but right then and there, doing anything aggressive doesn't seem like it. At the moment, it's just a kind of game of public humiliation in front of the aristocracy, which, as much as I like for its complexity and subtlety, I have to say, after seeing the film version, I feel like the book was kind of too tame and boring. Because in the film, the Baron presents himself to the Emperor, and almost immediately they strike the fat swine down. They first cut him from his suspensors, and he tumbles down and hits the floor like a sack of potatoes. And it was so satisfying to watch, even the first time I saw it. Not only because I fucking hated him, but also because it makes the Emperor so much more assertive than he was in the book. Granted, in the book, he kills Paul's baby and kidnaps his sister, which one might argue is a lot more assertive than just beating up the Baron. But when you don't see it, and only hear about it having occurred, it doesn't really strike you as much as seeing visually the Emperor of the fucking universe cutting down and beating the fuck out of one of his subservient vassals. And right then and there in the throne room, no arrests, no trials, no nothing. But right there on the spot, wiping the floor with him and then having him look you in the eye at knife point. No matter how small, this change still managed to alter my perspective on both the Emperor and the Baron, and their relationship. And I also feel like in the frame of the movie, it's much more realistic than it was in the book. Because in the book, the scene is still kind of about theatrics. And when you think about the situation and what's happening around them, when they're literally seconds away from being swarmed by Fremen, they don't have the time for theatrics. There's about to be a huge war, and the Emperor has come to fix the situation. So he's in rage, and he's in a hurry. He just beats up the one who screwed up his orders like an Italian mafia boss. And I loved it. And it goes very much in line with Paul's attitudes towards the Baron just a few minutes later. First, the Emperor just beats him up, no questions asked, and then afterwards, Paul literally just walked in and knifed him. And I think it's brilliant. If there is one change from book to film that I love most when it comes to the Baron, maybe it's this one. His immediate and brutal handling by everyone who got his hands on him.